Welcome back, Language Journey listeners. Today we're tackling a very common struggle that many English learners face: the constant mental translation. It's like having a little interpreter in your head, constantly converting everything, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Jessica. That internal translator can be a real bottleneck for achieving true fluency. It not only slows you down significantly, but also makes conversations feel clunky and often unnatural.
Exactly. When you're constantly translating, you're essentially doing double the work. You hear something in English, translate it to your native language, formulate your response in your native language, and then translate it back to English. It's incredibly inefficient and mentally exhausting.
This habit truly creates a barrier between you and spontaneous, natural fluency. You want to speak without hesitation, but instead, you're stuck in this mental loop, often missing nuances or sounding stiff because of literal word-for-word translations.
So, the big question is, how do we break this habit and start thinking directly in English? Our first powerful tip is about creating an immersive English environment for yourself, even if you're not living in an English speaking country.
That's a fantastic starting point for everyone. Begin by changing the language settings on all your digital devices, your phone, computer, and even social media, to English. You can also label everyday objects around your house in English.
And don't forget about media immersion. Surround yourself with English music, podcasts, and TV shows. Try to watch without subtitles, or at least with English subtitles, to really train your ear and mind to process the language directly.
Another incredibly powerful tool that often gets overlooked is the monolingual dictionary. Instead of looking up an unfamiliar English word and finding its translation in your native language, try to understand its definition purely in English.
This method immediately forces your brain to stay within the English framework, building direct connections between English words and concepts. If you encounter a word in the definition you don't know, look that word up in English too. It's a powerful chain reaction.
It's a superb way to expand your vocabulary and deepen your understanding, all while consistently reinforcing English-only thinking. While it might feel a bit slower initially, the long-term benefits for fluency are immense.
Our next tip is about shifting your focus from translating to describing. Instead of desperately searching for the exact translated word, try to describe the concept, object, or feeling using the English words you already know.
This is incredibly practical and empowers you to keep speaking. For instance, if you forget the word for spoon, you could simply say, "It's something you use to eat soup or to stir your coffee." This trains your brain to express ideas directly, rather than getting stuck on a single vocabulary item.
This might sound a little unconventional, but try cultivating an inner monologue or practicing self-talk silently to yourself in English throughout your day. You can even speak out loud when you're alone.
It truly is like having a constant personal practice partner right there with you. As you're making breakfast, think, "I'm pouring water. Now I'll add the coffee grounds and then some milk." Or plan your entire grocery list or your next day's activities completely in English. Start small, even just a few sentences daily, and gradually increase it.
When you learn new vocabulary, make a conscious effort to associate the English word directly with an image, a sensory experience, or a feeling, rather than linking it to its translation in your native language.
For example, when you learn the word apple, don't think manzana, Spanish, and then picture an apple. Instead, just think apple and directly visualize the crisp red fruit itself. Using flashcards with pictures on one side and the English word on the other is an excellent way to reinforce this direct association.
Finally, focus on learning common phrases and expressions as complete units, or chunks, rather than trying to break them down into individual words. This approach is key for natural speech.
Absolutely. Think of common expressions like, "How are you doing?" "It's a piece of cake," or "Long time no see." These are often idiomatic and don't translate well word for word anyway. Learning them as chunks helps you produce natural English much faster and with greater confidence.
Now, we want to acknowledge that this isn't an overnight transformation. It takes consistent effort, patience, and plenty of practice. There will definitely be moments where you find yourself reverting to translating.
And that's perfectly okay, and a natural part of the learning process. The key is to recognize when you're doing it and gently but firmly guide your brain back to thinking in English. Be kind and patient with yourself throughout this challenging but incredibly rewarding journey.
So, to recap, you can effectively ditch the mental translation by immersing yourself in English, using monolingual dictionaries, describing instead of translating, practicing inner monologue or self talk, associating words directly with images, and learning phrases as complete units.
These powerful strategies will help you build a direct, intuitive connection between concepts and English words, ultimately leading to more fluent, natural, and confident communication. Make a commitment to start integrating these valuable tips into your daily routine today.
We'd absolutely love to hear how these tips work for you and what your experiences are. Share your thoughts and progress with us on social media using Language Journey Podcast. Thanks for joining us on Language Journey, and we'll see you next time.